How's it going? I'm Will with Escape Climbing, and today we're going to talk about our DIY panel. So this DIY panel is 2 feet wide by 4 feet high. You can install it both ways, either vertically like this or horizontally like the one behind me. Today I'm going to walk you through how to install it horizontally, but we designed it. There's a couple specific things that we put into the design here. So first off, we have this commercial gym texture. It's an 80 grit, just like you'd find at a climbing gym. Then we have Baltic birch panel, really nice wood there. We also have our Escape industrial T-nuts. So we have 18 industrial T-nuts pre-installed here. A couple important things you can learn from the owner's manual. So this walks through really safety-wise, how to use it, how to install it. There's really good stuff about installing over studs or installing over drywall like we're gonna do today. So I'm just gonna walk you through how to really install it on top of drywall. So what I did already is I went through and I found where my studs are. That's gonna be the first step. So really important, I've marked out where my studs are on the ground and they just go vertically straight up. So some things I need to do is for every panel we get, we include hardware with it, but you are gonna need to drill out the center holes. So we include holes on the sides here. So we include 4 holes on each side, but you're gonna need to mark it depending on your stud spacing. In the middle, you'll need to mark it. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna install the side panels with our spacers, and then I'll show you how to mark the middle. So starting out, I have my studs marked on there. I'm gonna take one of my spacers, I'm gonna put it up, the hole's facing me, and I'm gonna put it just like that. So the spacers enable you to have a little room behind your wall. That's way, when you're putting in bolts, you're not gonna go directly into your drywall. So whenever I'm doing this, I'm wearing safety goggles here whenever I'm using a drill. And I'm just going to install this right here. So making sure I'm hitting a stud here. I'm gonna go in. Yep, so you've got to make sure you hit a stud with every screw, because if it's just going into drywall, this will not hold. I'm gonna go on the other side. I'm gonna install it over here. Something nice about these spacers are you can install it kind of 2 ways. You can see here, we've got the 2 different holes in it. So you can see on this side, I want it to be flush, so I installed the spacer just flush with the wall. On this other side, since I'm gonna install another set of panels here, I'm gonna actually offset it a bit. So I'm gonna go through the first hole, and that enables me to just use 1 spacer, and then you can keep going with your panels. So I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna install that one. So I'll go through, put all these screws in. Really important in the middle. So these studs are 24 on center. If you have 16 on center studs, you're gonna need to use more spacers, which we include. But for this one, I know it's right in the middle. I can find out exactly where my old stud was. So I see, let me see where that. I can see it's right here. I know I marked it. I know it's gonna go right here. So something super important is you need to pre-drill this. I use our countersink bit from Escape Climbing. You can just use any pilot drill bit, just big enough that the screw can fit through. And whenever I'm drilling into a board like this, because it's textured, I'm gonna wear a respirator. You just don't wanna breathe in a lot of the silica dust. So this is just an N95 respirator. You could purchase at like a Home Depot or something. So I'm gonna put this on, and I'm gonna drill in right here, making sure I hit a stud. So I'm just gonna pre-drill that hole right there. Then I can go back in and install my screw right here. Perfect. So then to finish installing this panel, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna install the rest of these 4 screws in, and then I'll install 3 more screws here and the rest of those 4. So yeah, that's just how to install our DIY panels over some drywall. And you can find it on our website at escapeclimbing.com. Thanks.